can you do me a favor and just say and spell your name for me, just so I can get it on the record?
It's Angela Angela Bundy, Bundy.
And do you go by Angela or Angie?
You know, everybody calls me Angie, but my husband and my dad, they call me Angela. So.
Okay. And you're Ryan Bundy's wife, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so have you been able to talk to Ryan yet?
Yes, he's called a few times from the prison up there.
And did he see what happened Tuesday night? What has he been able to tell you?
Okay, well, you have to understand that they were in the truck. You know what I'm saying? And then there were bullets flying at them. But his account matches Victoria's perfectly, and they had no time to corroborate a story together. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he gives the account of just the hailstorm of bullets at Lavoie. No, I did not ask him if Lavoie was armed or not. I didn't even ask him that. The video's clear to me, and everybody's speculating on the video. But it's clear to me that number one, he was trying not to hurt anybody by driving into the snowbank, and number two, he's right armed, and so it doesn't make sense that he'd be grabbing his left side for a gun. He wore his gun on his right hip. And so the speculation that when he grabs that left side, I can't see what's going on. You know, there's speculation that he's been tasered, speculation he's been shot. But we need better video coverage of this to really analyze it. I mean, we have a million theories out there going. You know, and the truth of the matter is my husband was getting barraged by bullets. And so his head was on the ground of the truck. In fact, he had that young girl in with him, and he's like, I was shielding her trying to make sure she didn't get hit by any bullets. You know, and he took one himself. So obviously bullets were flying in that cab.
Right. Now, when Ryan was shot, did he say, was he out of the truck when he got shot, or was he inside too?
He was in the truck.
He was in the truck. Okay. And do you know how many different cars there were? I know we've heard that everyone was headed to John Day for that community meeting. Was Ryan, you said someone was in the truck with Ryan as well, right?
There were several in the truck with him, yes.
Yeah. And now we have seen the FBI video now, and like you said, everyone's speculating about what happened, if Lavoie was charging them or if he had his hands up when it happened. What do you think happened to Lavoie?
Okay, I know Lavoie. They spilt the most pure blood when they killed him. He would never, ever hurt anything. I mean, ranchers, they're in the art of caretaking. You know, they take care of, they feed, I watched my own father-in-law and my husband do it. I know the guy. I know he wasn't charging to hurt anybody. I would bet my life on that. I know him, and I know he would not be trying to kill or shoot anyone. Salt of the earth guy.
Have you gotten?
And this is my speculation, but I honestly think he was trying to probably shield those in the car from getting hurt themselves by running out. That's my conjecture. I can't ask him that now, but I know him well enough to know that that's the type of person he is.
Have you gotten to speak to anyone in Lavoie's family? How are they doing?
I have not. Our family has been in contact with them, though.
And how is Ryan doing?
Well, he was really shaken up about Lavoie. He was a good family friend, and he was upset, and you know, he shed tears over his death. And he just says it was so, you know, his words were just, it was so senseless. We weren't out to hurt anybody. We were not out to hurt anybody. We were out to, you know, help. We were there to help. We were trying to be, you know, good and raise awareness and teach. And he's like, that was just so senseless. We weren't going to hurt anybody.
Did you spend time at the refuge too? Were you there at all?
No, I have 8 kids, and I kept trying to find a way to get up there, and I was even going to haul the kids up there. We had kind of a trip planned. But no, I never got to be up there.
Have you spoken to anyone that's still there?
No, I haven't.
Now, the judge, the federal judge says she's not letting anyone out of prison in Portland until the occupation is over. So what happens next? Are they going to?
That's up for this country to decide. I mean, we've seen the footage. I saw what happened to us here at our own ranch. Okay, people like to sit behind their keyboards and talk about, but they're this and they're that, and I think that's kind of a thing like this. They're doing that to them because of X, Y, or Z. Okay, we need to decide if we're going to be free or not in this country. Okay, because Nazi Germany has happened and has come to the rancher, and you have to ask yourself why are they going after ranchers? Ranchers are, for the most part, the people that I have met, they're tied to the earth, and so most of them are God-fearing, praying, try to be the best person, help you out in any situation they can type people. And it just floors me that because we take a stand and say no, then we're the bad guys, and we don't pay our grazing fees, and we're the government saps and all this. And I've seen my family's name dragged through the mud. We put ourselves out there, and that's one reason I have stayed out of this as far as interviews or anything goes, because they've totally villainized my husband, and he's got thick skin, but I don't so much. And I've got 8 kids, and I've just tried to kind of stick my nose into just being a mom, but this is personal now. They tried to kill him, and he wasn't out to hurt or kill anybody. And so I just can't sit by anymore. I mean, I'm of a firm belief that I got to have his help to raise these kids and to be good people. They need a dad. And they just about took that from me. And that's just haunted me ever since, especially watching that video. It's just all become very real. And you see that, and it looks like a crazy scene out of a movie or something. I mean, this is real, people. What are we going to do about this? I mean, we all need to hit our knees as a nation and decide, what can we do? We don't want people killed. We didn't want that at all. We don't want any bloodshed on either side of the fence. But we can't take this like this anymore. I mean, they will find one little thing on somebody's ranch and shut it down. With my father-in-law as a desert tortoise. It's just all a game to control the land. You control the land, you control the resources, you control people. And that sounds all conspiracy or whatever, but it's just the truth.
And what do you have to say to people who are speaking out and don't believe in what they're saying?
Right now they're trying to break ranchers, and they've been really successful at it. You sit and hound a person, and you tax them, and you cut down the herds, and you say, you can't ranch because of this minnow or this elk or this turtle, and eventually most people break. And I see broken people all the time. I see broken ranchers, and they run them all out of this county except for my father-in-law. Broken people can't fight. Okay, and then everybody else is just like, well, it doesn't really affect me. This is crazy talk. It doesn't affect me. Well, it might not, but they might come after you next, and they'll break you too. And then we're just a nation of slaves. We have to be strong. We have to say no peacefully, and we have to educate. I hope this doesn't get twisted. These words don't get twisted. Okay. My husband drugged me to Constitution meeting after Constitution meeting, and at first I'm just like, can I bring a book to read? I mean, this is still, it's not just, it's boring or whatever. But we have to do it, people. We've got to study it. We have to understand it, because this nation has been blessed with freedom more than any other civilization over the history of the world. And we had something great, and we need to keep it. But we can't keep it if we don't understand it. So eventually I got to where, it started making sense. It started being interesting. But I'll admit, you have to get over that. It's really boring hump. I hate him, and he's not going to be happy I said that. Anyway, but that's the honest truth. Nobody wants to sit and study the Constitution, but we have to do it. And it does get exciting, and it does start making sense. And I just urge everybody, educate yourself. Please don't just take everything that you see and everything that's said about us at face value. My husband, best guy in the world, do anything for anybody. Okay, we've got 8 kids together, best daddy around. I mean, just give heard somebody say, get the shirt off your back. That's him. Okay, he's not a criminal. He's not a crazy radical. And it's time that we start looking at those to try to subject everybody as such.
Well, Angie, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today and share your story. And I hope that Ryan does get better. Now, was he shot in the leg? Is that what they're saying?
No, he was shot in the arm, and the bullet's still there in his arm.
It's still in there?
Yep.
Are they looking at it at all while he's in prison?
Oh, yeah. They've treated it. Sometimes it does more damage to dig it out than just leave it there.
Right. Well,
so they left it there.
Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Well, I just, you know what? I love America, and I love people, and I love the people in this country. And I would just hope that before you make rash judgments, you look at the whole story. There's a big story here, and it's a lot. And that's all I'd urge you to do.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I appreciate it. I do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, Angie.
Bye.
Basically, after this weekend, we did a complete re-interview of all the persons involved in the disappearance of Dior.